What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Post-fight, Carlos Molina versus Cornelius Bundrage. Now, at first, I wasn't even going to watch this fight just because I wasn't going to watch it. I didn't know what to expect. I thought it was going to be a kind of a boring fight. And it was actually, I'm not going to say it's the best fight I've ever seen or anything like that, but it was a lot better than I expected. There was just nothing on TV. I was like, nah, let me take a break from my workload. So I decided to cut it on and watch it. And it was actually pretty entertaining. You know what I mean? It was a lot better than I expected it to be. So just want to do a quick recap post-fight. Cornelius Bundrage, he actually defeated Carlos Molina and took his belt. So he is now at 41 years of age a champion. And this is crazy because in the ESPN in the last 2 weeks, we've seen Jermaine Taylor, who's mid-30s, you know what I mean, considered boxing old, who just beat Sam Solomon, took his title at middleweight. Now you have a 41-year-old who was very inactive in Cornelius Bundrage, and he is now a champion at 154. So this is pretty interesting. As far as the fight, it was pretty one-sided. Carlos Molina looked basura. He looked ass, man. Like, I was actually surprised. I didn't expect moments where I didn't really pick, like I said, I wasn't even going to watch it, so I didn't pick a winner. You didn't see any kind of fight predictions or anything from me. So I didn't really have a game plan or a prediction of who was going to win, but I didn't expect Cornelius Bundrage. Had I made a prediction, I wouldn't have expected Cornelius Bundrage to dominate. You know what I mean? First of all, I didn't think his power was going to be that much of a issue because Carlos Molina has been in there with Edislani Laura, who's pretty surgical, good pop. He's been in there with James Kirkland, and he made those guys look suspect and bad at times. And those people, to me, are like world class, like good athletes, known, credible athletes in the division. So I didn't expect it to be this one-sided. Cornelius Bundrage was just having his way, landing rights all day. He was raining rights. Carlos Molina looked really suspect. It was actually, to me, it was equivalent to how suspect James Kirkland looked versus Carlos Molina. How Carlos Molina was clearly winning the fight, and Kirkland just couldn't get off. This is how Molina was. He just couldn't get off. And fights like this really make me appreciate the known elite fighters, guys like Mayweather and Pacquiao, because despite anything else, these dudes have like taken long breaks. Like Mayweather, he quote unquote retired. He was out of the sport for like 2 years, came back and outclassed Marquez and dominated him pretty much all 12 rounds. I know some people are going to get butthurt and mad that I just said that. Like, oh, what? Mayweather outweighed Marquez. True. But to a degree, you have to still take into consideration. You can't just say, oh, he outweighed him, and then don't take into consideration that he was absent from the sport, not having pro level fights for 2 years, nearly 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So that has to nullify or neutralize that weight, quote unquote, advantage. And just because someone outweighs you doesn't mean you have to lose every single round. You know what I'm saying? How many times has Mayweather been outweighed by somebody? He got outweighed in the Victor Ortiz fight, the Canelo fight, Robert Guerrero fight, the Maidana first fight and second fight. You know what I'm saying? So Mayweather's accustomed to fighting guys 12 plus pounds heavier than himself, and he doesn't get dominated by all 12 rounds. You know what I mean? It could be good and competitive. But Marquez is a legend, and he got dominated off a 2 year layoff. Same thing with Pacquiao. Pacquiao gets knocked the fuck out by Marquez in the fourth fight, where Marquez actually jumped up in weight in the third fight to face Pacquiao, and I thought Marquez beat Pacquiao in that third fight. You know what I'm saying? So some people get mad at the Mayweather had a weight advantage, but Marquez versus Pacquiao in the third fight, he did the same thing, jumped up 2 weight classes, and he looked good in that fight. So it's not a reason for you to get dominated. Plus, Pacquiao got knocked the fuck out by Marquez in the fourth fight, took a little over a year off, came back and dominated Brandon Rios, who was bigger than him. So it really makes me respect the levels to this shit. There really are like levels to this shit to be world class and to be like world class proven champions. Because Carlos Molina looked like he looked horrible to me. You know what I'm saying? And he was off for 13 months and he looked atrocious. You know, he just couldn't get off, couldn't get a rhythm. He was getting hurt, and it looks like that inactivity like really took some steam from his game plan. So now Cornelius Bundrage at 41 is a belt holder. I told you guys they're trying to make the Jermell Charlo versus Demetrius Andrade. So the winner of that could easily fight K9 Bundrage, try to collect the belt there. Canelo. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what he's gonna do with HBO, but I didn't expect this to happen, especially how it played out. I didn't expect K9 to me. I like K9. He has that dog in him. You know what I mean? He's from Detroit and whatnot, and I don't know, just something about his attitude, him being 41. You know, he stays in shape and stuff that I just liked. But he's not the prettiest fighter to watch, and he actually wasn't as sloppy. A lot of times I've seen him, he's like mad sloppy. He wasn't. He was pretty controlled, and you know what I mean. Like I said, reigning right. So props to him for a victory and becoming a champion at age 41. Second week in a row, we have a quote unquote older champion that a lot of people probably didn't expect. Carlos Molina, stylistically, is a nightmare for a lot of people. He's one of those guys that is hard to look good against. Guys like Miguel Vasquez and Mauricio Herrera, Carlos Molina, I lumped them all into the same category of motherfuckers you don't necessarily want to fight unless you have to, because it is very, very hard to look spectacular against those guys. You know what I mean? Because Carlos Molina, like I said, I thought he could take a punch pretty well. He's been in there with tough competition, big punchers, James Kirklands and whatnot, the Lauras, and I thought he did his thing or held his own, but tonight he just looked suspect. And Cornelius Bundrage is ahead on the scorecards. He did get a point deducted. He had 2 knockdowns in the fight. In the first round, he knocked down Molina, and in the 10th round, if I'm not mistaken, and he also had a point deduction in there for, I guess, lowering Carlos Molina's head down. So it was a little bit rough to watch in a couple spots. The referee kept trying to get involved, and he kept sending K9 to his corner because his tape was loose or some shit on his glove. So little stuff like that. And the point deduction, I don't know if I necessarily would have done that. He did get warned, but I don't know if it was worthy of deducting a point. Let me know what you guys think. If you did watch it, again, it was better than I expected. Make sure you like my video. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego, signing off.